to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead and start with roll call.
Jason Lawson. Dennis Anderson.
Here.
Josh Westridge.
Here.
Brian Schuer.
Here.
Craig Arthur.
Present.
Corey Klassman.
Present.
Sarah Ford. Present.
Alrighty. There's a couple of items that we need to shuffle around. So I know the petitioner for items G and H have an engagement soon. So I want to make a motion to combine items G and H and move those to first order of business, and combine items D, E, and F to be spoken in one go. And then is the petitioner for item C present? The LLC, the PC? Yes. And if I'm understanding correctly, you wanted to table that item to the next? Yeah, that's what I. Okay. And then also in that motion, like to table the zone map change to the next Planning Commission meeting. And I'll hear a motion.
I'll make a motion that we combine G and H, do it first. Well, combine D, E, and F, and then table C.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right. Approval agenda is passed.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
We might announce then that the hearing on that item that was tabled would be postponed till the November 13th meeting. Is that the correct date? Anyone who's here for that purpose, that hearing will take place on November the 13th, same place, same time.
So if I understand correctly, there are some present that are here in regards to the rezone agenda item that would like to speak.
And they may still speak.
Yes, I'd like to go ahead and
The formal hearing will be next month.
correct. The formal hearing will be next month, but I would like to give the public a chance to speak in regards to that item still, so your voices can be heard. We can do that. We can do that probably now. Okay. So real quick, I just need, I'd like to hear a motion for the approval of the meeting minutes for August 14th, 2017 Planning Commission meeting.
Make a motion we adopt the minute meetings for 8/14 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, meeting minutes approved. All right, and we'll go ahead and hear the public request to speak. I received one form from Candace Smith. Candace Smith, if you'd like to go ahead and step forward. Please state your name and your address of residence, please.
Name is Candace Smith. I own the properties at 3505 East 400 South, 3525, 3550, and 3625. So basically, we are the property that is adjoining, adjoining Block D and the lakes, which is the west side of this proposed plan. We realize we can't change what's already been approved, but what we would like to ask is that our property values, our views are not the back of a building, not a parking lot, and we're asking for extended berms to protect the properties along there, and fencing to go on top of it to block out the lighting. Back when this was approved many years ago, there was approval for landscaping and trees to go on top of the berms, which has not happened because no building has gone on, but we have lights shining into our homes that we didn't, anticipate, and wasn't what we had planned when that was approved. So we feel, which, like I said, we can't stop this. We realize that things are going to continue. But if you could help protect our views, so we're not looking into the parking lots or the back doors of shopping, We're, concerned with the security. I have some animals that I would like to protect from the public. And I have a fear that if this is an easy access or easy view for the public to see, I'll become the public zoo. And this is not something that I can afford to have happen. And we're just asking for them to be a good neighbor, to do a little more additional. Since they're asking for a change, we'd like to ask for this additional change.
Okay.
Right.
I had a quick question just for the public. What specifically are your security concerns?
Well, if they're going to have retail shops, that's going to invite more people in. What we have been used to has been trees and grass and, all the comforts of nature out there. And now we'll have brick, people, and depending on the type of buildings or the type of clientele they allow to purchase there, our fear is we'll have trespassers, especially with my animals. I'd have trespassers, people climbing fences, people now into our backyards with this being so close to our homes. We understand that they're a business and that their business is to build and develop property, but these are our homes. And all we're asking is don't devalue our property by allowing them to put in something, even with the, with the type of business. If there was a way for us to say we'd like to control, the businesses, and that happens, we'll be here.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
We're talking about item C, correct? Is that the one?
We are talking about item C.
Okay, so that would actually be rezoned to light industrial, so that's not retail.
Now, this was, I asked to speak on the first part of
I want to make sure we're clear on what you're talking about and what we,
the secondary plot, the A and B.
Okay, so you're talking about, so you came to speak about A and B. Okay.
Yes.
Apologies. I thought it was in regards, I know there's a lot that came to speak in regards to C, so.
All right, so for everything I said, now apply it to my backyard.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
okay, that makes sense.
I know there's quite a few people here to speak in regards to agenda item C that has been tabled. Do we have public requests to speak in regards to that agenda item, Brittany, or?
I don't have anything for that agenda, for item C.
Okay.
If you'd like to, you can fill out a form. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. And for clarification, we are talking about item C. Great, thank you. If you could just state your name and address of residence, please.
I'm Amy Royal, and I actually live at the same address that's cited in the document. My address is 4765 South 300 East, which can be confusing, which I would also like to have that changed or something. There has been confusion about that in the past. So if this does get rezoned, I feel like there could be tax or assessment issues, being that we share the same address. So
Yeah.
anyway, and there's been tax issues with that before, which, anyway. So, and I'm sure you guys have had that problem with what's going on here. So anyway, I am the property that this goes around. So my property is the one right in the middle. And it just, I don't feel like the buffers are adequate distance from the property, first of all. We have young kids, and it just doesn't seem like it's hard to tell from the plans, but it'd be nice if it was a little farther away. It seems like there's parking right up to it. The road right now, sorry, I'm like nervous. I'm not used to talking in front of people. The road that this is on is a gravel road. I just don't see it.
Are you speaking about 300 East, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not consistent with what they expressed in the petition. It's not consistent with what's there now. I do think that 267, where the adjacent warehouse is going in, is, I mean, 267 is a heavily traveled road. I understand that, and that does affect our property. I mean, we see it. It changed the landscape, and it's not great. It's not desirable. But for us, we were like, okay, it's on 267. that's different, but this is on a gravel road that doesn't, I don't think, support that kind of industry, and it's the very western boundary of your, I don't know, your town. Sorry. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's about it. I just think that the buffer should be larger and to account for just the light and the noise and all of that. So.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's anyone else that'd like to speak in regards to agenda item C that's been tabled, you're more than welcome to come up and present us the form. And if you don't have a form filled out, please, if you could fill a form out afterwards, so we have it on record. Hello, sir.
I'm Harold Paget. We were here to see the rezoning of 2PL Farm. Every person who's affected is here except 2PL. Why aren't they here? Do they have a reason to kind of run it along so nobody that's affected by it going to be here when they're ready to run it through? I think it's a question. Why can't we be, I mean, everybody's here that got the letter to be affected. We can't just come every whip stitch, and that's what I think 2PL must be up to. So just take it from there. I'm sorry we all showed up in good faith, and they didn't.
Okay. And sir, could I get your name and address of residence?
Pardon?
Could I get your name and address of residence, please?
Harold Paget, 4255 South, 300 East.
Thank you, sir.
And just a note for those present, we do apologize for the inconvenience, but is their legal right to table. And I'm not sure exactly how many times they're legally allowed to table, but it's their right as a petitioner, so I apologize for the inconvenience.
Thank you.
November 13th.
November 13th. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, and you're more than welcome to speak now if you have a form to fill out after the fact. Absolutely.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, go ahead. Sir, if I could have your name and affiliation.
My name's Alex Bruggenschmidt. I'm the attorney for 2PL LLC, the applicant. I want to start by apologizing to everybody that came here for the hearing tonight. The reason we've requested we table the hearing on this is because we want to revise the site plan to address all of your concerns. My client takes these concerns very seriously, pledges to work with all these folks to address the concerns of buffering and the traffic. So I just wanted to make that clear. We are here tonight. We are pulling the application so that we can talk to you about your concerns, how we can address what you've brought forth tonight. So again, I apologize, and we hope to get the revised stuff out to you. And I'm happy to talk to all of you outside in the hall or after these proceedings have concluded. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. Okay.
Mr. President, I might also note that it's certainly appropriate for members of the public to submit written comments as well. If they are unable to attend the hearing next month, the written comments will also be taken into account if they're submitted to the staff in advance of that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir. Evening, Dax.
Evening, Mr. President, Commission. Sorry for my dress. My second job is coaching the Traders Point Junior High soccer team, so we just came from a win. I wanted to come up quickly and tell you that, first off, just to fix any misinformation, the request to table actually came into Brittany, must have been Friday-ish. We as staff do not amend your agenda once it's been put out to the public, which had already been done so. For those that showed up, this was not a there's a bunch of people in the room, let's table it. This is something that probably came out of the fact that our staff, our plan director actually put in her staff report that she would recommend denial of this request in its current form. So we've done a lot of talking about this request to rezone this property. Gives us a little bit of pain in-house. I commend Brittany for her staff report and for her decision. Obviously that has caused some second look at the product, and I commend you all for the table, but I do want to make sure that those in the public can certainly email Brittany or myself. We will get those emails to all of you, but they should also know that we are keeping a close eye on this property and have a lot of concerns zoning this industrial all the way to the edge of the town border. We always hear the excuse of a lot of these residents aren't in Whitestown, they're in Lebanon or they're in rural Zionsville. I don't think that really matters. They're affected, so that's why that's what we've done what we've done. So thank you for your time, and I'll yield back to you.
Thank you, Dex. Thank you for the clarification, and thank you to the staff for giving us that extra light into the situation. On that note, is there anyone else currently present that would like to speak in regards to this agenda item? Go ahead, ma'am. Okay, we can definitely take that. Okay, perfect. We can definitely take that into account, and we'll make sure that that's on record. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. All right, are there any public requests to speak that are not in relation to any of the agenda items? All right, hearing none. Brittany, are there any presentations for today?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to also make a motion to combine agenda items A and B? It's both for Southwest.
Oh.
The crossing point sound.
Absolutely. Oh, no worries. I don't think I can circle those. Yeah, I'll make a motion to also combine agenda items A and B into one.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Moving on to presentations.
First, we have item PC 17-042 or 041-CP and PC 17-042DP. It's for Anson Building 9 concept and development plan.
President, I'll recuse myself.
All right. Thank you.
The petitioner is requesting approval of a concept and development plan to be known as Anson Building 9. The subject property is currently zoned PUD and is approximately 30.5 acres. This property is located south of Albert S. White Drive and east of Anson Building 7B. The petitioner and property owner is Browning Duke LLC, and with this, the petitioner is also requesting a waiver to allow loading docks on the north facade of the proposed Building 9, which faces parallel to County Road 400 South, which is Albert S. White Drive.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Nathan Harris, representing Duke Realty. Excuse me. Let's see. Got a PowerPoint ready for you. Oh, there we go. Thank you. So we're here on behalf of Duke Realty, and we're going to present our latest project, Building 9 in the Anson Park. The site is located within the Anson development. It is located at the southeast corner of All Points Drive and Albert S. White Parkway. Building 9 just east of the Brooks building that's currently under construction, and the site is on approximately 30.5 acres. Our site is located within the Commerce District of Anson PUD. It's also located within the Overlay Corridor District. The next slide shows a site plan of the proposed development. The building is going to be approximately 432,000 square feet. We've got access for truck traffic and vehicular passenger traffic at the northwest corner of the site. We've also got some access planned at the east end of the site along County Road 575 That entrance will be restricted to cars-only traffic, and we plan to install a truck barrier headache bar over that entrance to prevent trucks from driving through there. At the request of the fire marshal, we're also adding an emergency access, which will be gated. That's the entrance at the southeast corner of the site. We'll have car parking on the east and docks on both the north and south side of the building, as Brittany mentioned. We've got future parking expansions planned on the west side of the building as well. Real quick to cover the grading plan, most of the water that leaves the site will either flow to the north through an existing pond, which is planned to be expanded, or to the south to a pond that's located adjacent to the site to the west. We're also planning to fill a little bit within the floodplain, so we've added some compensatory storage. All of our stormwater will eventually route to Fishback Creek. And we are currently in discussions with the Boone County Surveyor. They've seen our plan, they've had a chance to review it, and we're in the process of addressing their comments, and we hope to have that plan approved at their next meeting, which is October 16th. As far as utilities go, we plan to have domestic water service extended from the west. The future All Points Drive is currently under construction with a utility extension. We plan to tap into those for both water and sanitary. Our fire protection will be provided by an extension from an existing park system, and will loop around the site. This is a building rendering. This is the northeast corner of the building, as you view from the northeast corner of the parking lot. The next slide is another shot of the building. It's the southeast corner of the building. And here are elevations of the building from all four sides, so you can see what we're proposing to do there. As is standard with our developments, we're also going to propose a lighting design that meets all of the ordinance requirements. We're going to be using our shoebox style light fixtures with flat lenses so that the light from those fixtures doesn't travel too far from the site. As Brittany mentioned, we're applying for a waiver to allow for truck dock on the north side of the building, which faces Albertus White. We plan to mitigate that by providing a 6 to 7 foot tall berm with landscaping on top, similar to what's been approved and installed on 7A, and which is planning to be installed currently on Site 7B. We've also provided additional screening on the east, west, and the south side of the building to screen the building from public view. The next slide just kind of shows what we have currently installed on Site 7A. It's the GNC building. You can see the berm there is approximately 7 feet tall with plantings on top. Only the top portion of the building is visible from public, either walking on the trail or driving past the building. So in summary, sites within the Commerce District, big box distribution area, and within the Corridor Overlay District. The proposed building meets all of our design standards per the I-65 PUD ordinance. Planning staff has recommended approval of our concept plan and development plan, and we have made responses to all of the TAC comments. In regards to the waiver that we're requesting, Building 7A and 7B both have loading docks on the north facade parallel to Albertus White, so we're proposing to do the same thing with this development and supply adequate screening, and we feel that it's consistent with the look and feel of the other buildings in the park. With that, I'll take any questions if there are any.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We'll go ahead and move to the staff report.
Staff recommends the Planning Commission approve concept and development plan known as Anson Building 9 along with the waiver request.
Okay. Thank you, Brittany. Are there any comments or concerns from the public?
I have a few, actually. I have a form if you need it. I don't know if you need it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that.
Thank you.
Evening, sir.
Evening.
If you could state your name and address of residence, please.
Yep, Michael Mecklenburg. I live at 4637 South 575 East, right on the corner of 450 and 575 there. Had a couple of, I guess, concerns, questions with the building going up. It looks like the two buildings that are planned to the south of that have a pretty significant space in between 575 and the building itself with a retention pond in between. I know you run into issues with Fishback Creek being there, and it's probably a little bit tougher to do, but you know, I was kind of wondering if you could expound a little bit on the berm that you're planning for the east and the south side of the plan. Is that similar to what you have, what will be planned for Albert S. White, or?
There is no berm on the east.
Sir, you need to.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is no berm planned on the east or south side. The east side, up against 575, is in the floodplain area for Fishback Creek, so there's not, we can't build up in that area. But there is a pretty wide buffer between the road and the parking lot, and we've added additional screening with a lot of extra plantings in that area to try and shield the building the best we can.
Okay. I guess based on that, was there ever any consideration made to put the parking lot on the other side so you don't have that traffic and the going on into that side of the building? Is that a possibility? You know, was that ever considered as a possibility? And that would take away from the traffic off 575 as well.
That was discussed, and really the same issue came into play. We're as close to the floodplain as we could possibly get with the building, so shifting the building would almost make the project undevelopable because of the size. We'd have to shrink the building down to.
Okay.
So that was considered.
And sir, I have a follow-up question in regards to that. Is that because really just the northeast corner?
That's correct.
Pretty much touches the floodplain, so if you were to flip-flop, you can't shift the building over to the east anymore because of that floodplain. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other questions, sir?
No, I think that was about it.
Okay.
All I could think of.
All right.
Oh, I actually, do you know do you have a planned tenant for it? Sorry.
We're currently marketing the project. We do not have a tenant signed up for it yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns from the public? All right. Hearing none. Any comments or concerns from the Planning Commission? All right. Hearing none, I'll go ahead and hear a motion.
I make a motion, we approve docket PC 17-041-CP Anson Building 9 concept plan, as well as docket PC 17042 DP Anson Building 9 development plan.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right. Docket PC 17041 and CP and 042 DP Anson Building 9 concept plan and development plan passes. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next up on the agenda are items A and B, and that is docket PC 17035, Whitestown Crossing Southwest Road Secondary Plat, and Whitestown Crossing Southwest Road Development Plan. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Greg Dempsey with Innovative Engineering. I guess I'll start off by addressing the replat. This will be for Block C of the Whitestown Crossing Phase 2. By replatting this, we'll be making a smaller Block C as well as a Block H in a Lot 10. Part of the necessity for this is what I'll talk about during the development plan, which is to extend a private access road that basically cuts through the middle of what was Block C. A part of extending that road will also be extending the sanitary and water, and we'll be connecting it along Indianapolis Road on the north and the south. So we'll be creating a loop through there. We're also It's moved on to the development plan now. The two existing, which were basically borrow pit, but they're old ponds that were behind the water tower now. Those ponds will be combined into one larger pond that'll function better, be more aesthetically pleasing. The pond and the storm sewer that will go with the private road were approved at the September 18th Drainage Board hearing. All of these improvements are being done just to prepare this area for future development. At this time, we don't have any proposed projects going into this area. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions and concerns you may have.
Thank you, sir. We'll go ahead and move on to the staff report.
Staff recommend the Planning Commission approve the secondary plat and primary plat or development plan known as PC 17-035 SP and PC 17-036 DP.
Thank you, Brittany. Are there any other comments or concerns from the public in regards to both of these agenda items? Hearing none, are there any comments or concerns from the Plan Commission?
Just to be clear, the lady who'd spoken, she was referring to this.
Correct.
I'm not sure where her property was.
I believe her property was it was the northwest corner. So
up in this corner here?
Correct.
Okay.
And has she been in contact with your organization in regards to her concerns as well?
Sorry?
What was the, I apologize, I forgot her name.
It was,
What was that?
it was like, was it Candace Smith?
Candace Smith. Has she been in contact with your organization in regards to her concerns?
If she was in the radius of the adjoiners, then yes, she would have been contacted.
Okay. Great.
She would have got public notice.
I don't have the list with me, so I can.
Sure.
Okay.
But to your knowledge, she hasn't directly reached out with any questions or concerns? I'm sure you'd have to ask your client.
I haven't spoken to her, but the developer may have.
Okay. Thank you. That's all the questions I had. All right, I'll go ahead and hear a motion for agenda items A and B.
I'll make a motion to approve docket PC 17035 SP Whitestown Crossing SW Road secondary plat and docket PC 17036 DP Whitestown Crossing SW Road Development Plan.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, docket PC 17035 and 036 pass. Thank you. All right, moving on, and just a reminder, we did table agenda item C, and moving on to agenda items D, E, F, as docket PC 17038, concept plan 039 primary plat, and 040 development plan for Panda Express. Come on up. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Doris Gross, and I'm with Knorr Architects, 150 West Jefferson Avenue, Suites 1300 in Detroit, Michigan, 48226. I'm here tonight to represent Panda Express, which is our client, and I'm here to seek approval for the concept plan, primary plat, and development plan for the new Panda Express restaurant. The site, which is right across the street here, is in the outlot of the Lowe's Home Improvement Store. It's approximately 0.83 acres, and the proposed restaurant will be approximately 2,200 square feet and is located in the northeast corner of the lot. The access to the site is through a shared drive in the south, and we're providing 35 parking spaces on our parcel and a drive-through along the east side of the building. The drive-through also has a bypass lane or a bailout lane for cars that can bypass other cars that are waiting or get stuck. The The proposed building materials are brick and adhered stone. You can see a rendering or a colored elevation here. We're also proposing building signage on all sides of the building, including a monument sign along the parkway. There's a trash enclosure on the south side of the building. The trash enclosure will also match the building materials of the building, and it's going to be brick. Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Doris. We'll go ahead and move to the staff report.
Staff recommend the Planning Commission approve item PC 17-38 CP concept plan, PC 17-39 PP primary plat, and PC 17-040 development plan for Panda Express.
Thank you, Brittany. Are there any comments or concerns from the public that's remaining? Hearing none. Are there any comments or concerns from the Planning Commission? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and hear a motion.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we adopt PC 17038, the concept plan, 39, the primary plat, and 40, the development plan for Panda Express.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to Whitestown.
All right. Is there any other business or announcements, Brittany?
No, I don't have anything.
John, do you have anything for us?
I'll make an announcement here. Sarah, you may particularly want to know that the lawsuit that was pending against the BZA has been dismissed or has been dropped by the petitioners. So the Planning Commission is, if you will recall, also recommended ordinance amendment in order to conform to the BZA's decision on that issue. But the petitioners decided to drop that lawsuit last week, so it is basically the litigation is over. I thought everyone would be pleased to hear about that.
That's awesome news.
Yes.
That's wonderful news. Thank you, John. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and adjourn at 7:10 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.